Hey, good morning, guys. If it's a little noisy, it's because we're in a truck right now. We're heading to go to the toxic tour of the Ponca Nation White Eagle Reservation with Mekasi. So just wanted to start building an audience. So by the time we get there, we'll have a nice audience. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day here. So I went outside wearing a shirt and discovered that just because it's sunny doesn't mean it's warm. And our view should have been beautiful, but all we actually got to see was smokestacks coming from the refinery. And so I can kind of show you where we're driving. You're going to see my finger come in the view as usual, because that's how this works. Come on now. So this is the road we're driving down, and as you can see, it's pretty flat and empty out here. Behind us, we've got the refineries. If you actually look over here to the left, and I'm gonna highlight it for you, that's what we're going past right now. That's a fracking well, right?
Yes.
So this is just one of thousands of these fracking wells that are here in Oklahoma. And they may not look like much from on top of the ground, but those are the major contributor to the earthquakes around here.
There's close to over 295,000 wells.
How many?
Wells in Oklahoma. 295,000.
295,000.
And
dang.
I recently did an expose with some women that came from the earthworks. They came here from earthworks, and they brought a infrared camera, and we went around and we surveyed about a 5-mile radius around the reservation here, and they had gone through 14 states, mapped 14 states, and found that about 1 out of every 20 wells was leaking methane gas, that they're having methane leaks. So when they brought this camera, it's like a $100,000 camera, a thermal imaging camera, and you look at the well and you don't see any leaks with the naked eye, but when you look with this camera, this high intensity camera, you can see the methane leaks. We went around a radius 5 miles around this reservation here, and we found that there was 100% leakage rate. That we checked 35 wells that day. There's no way we could check them all. There's hundreds of wells around the res. But we checked 35 wells that day and found that every one of them was leaking methane. So that does serious damage to our ozone layer, and contributes to the environmental, or to the climate change and global warming that's going on. And that's also something that we're going to show today. I'm going to show some of the wells that we drive by, and you can be guaranteed that they all leak. And you can look it up on YouTube at Earthworks, Ponca Reservation, and see that. So right now we're turning off the highway and going into the community. This is the Ponca Tribal headquarters on our right. It'll be on our left here when we make a turn.
So as you see on the left, for you guys, you're seeing that that's the Ponca Nation's tribal headquarters. And what Mekasi was just saying, which it just astounds me, 35 wells they checked with the special camera to look for methane leaks, and 100% leaks. Now methane, I mean, that's the main contributor. If any of you have looked at global warming and have looked at what happens when cows eat and what cows contribute with these huge factory farms, that's one of the major things that they always talk about. Hey Kerry, thanks for joining from Canberra, Australia. We'll get it up on YouTube within the next few days. By the end of the weekend, it'll be up there for you. Thank you so much for staying up till 2:30 to watch this.
So this is the Ponca Tribal powwow grounds that we're going by, and we're going to come back down here, and I'll tell a little bit about that when we get back down here. But I'm just going to drive through the community real quick, and I want to show you the proximity of the our community to this river, which is the Salt Fork of the Arkansas River. Well, we have a real small reservation. This is the main community, the housing community. A lot of people do live in Ponca City, but this is the actual, reservation housing. There's the Ponca Tribal Housing Building. And then, so these are all what's known as HUD houses. They're government low-income housing for Native Americans on the reservation. I just wanted to drive you through here real quick so that you could kind of get a feel of, our community, and then show you the proximity of the river, and we'll talk about the river when we get down there.
So we're just kind of giving you a view of this. Let me know if you can hear Mekasi okay. If you guys can comment and let you know that the sound's coming through okay, that'd be great if you can share this out. And then shortly we're going to get down to the river, and we were talking last night about the river and how important it is to the nation here, especially around the powwows, and in the summer when it's hot, being able to get into that river and to bathe in that river, and how the community here is being literally decimated by this, by the oil refinery, by the petroleum refinery, by the fracking, and much more. Thank you guys, glad to let you know the sound's good. That's cool.
Yeah, I think last night we were having a little sound issue. I should have said closer.
I think last night we were having our usual issue if someone was hacking my feeds.
Yeah.
And as we were having breakfast this morning, someone sent me some information to look for some hackers, and Stephanie was doing some stuff on her Facebook, and she was going through and blocking people, and they were automatically unblocking themselves once they've been blocked. So there's some real strange stuff going on out there, people. So this is coming down onto the where you have your powwow, is that correct?
Yeah, this is the Ponca Tribal Powwow Grounds, and this powwow ground's been here for close to 150 years. And my family, this is our camp. I'm going to pull up to. This is where we set up our teepees and set up our camp for the celebration once a year in August. Last week of August. In August of 2016, I was actually at Standing Rock, so I wasn't home with my family. But the family and the rest of the tribe was camped here at this campgrounds for our annual celebration. And this river experienced its 8th fish kill in the past 4 years. So what that means is that hundreds and thousands of fish floated up dead in this river. And this is the Salt Fork of the Arkansas River. And this river runs directly through our community.
Do you want to get out and kind of show them? I'm just going to jump out and actually get outside. You can see how beautiful it is. You've got the sun coming through here. I'm just going to give you kind of a 360 around here, and you see how close this river is right to down here. It's a beautiful, beautiful waterway. Look at the sunlight coming off it. And this is why we're out here, to protect these and to talk about this. Tell us more about the fish kills.
So this river runs directly through our community, and during the month of August, this camp is filled up with thousands of people from all around the country. It's kind of like a family reunion time for everybody in the tribe. Everybody comes and shares in the celebration, and it's hot in August in Oklahoma. It's usually over 100 degrees, and so the kids get in and swim and enjoy themselves. Everybody fishes and have fish fries here. I've hunted up and down. You can see the trees that are behind me. You can see all the trees back here. That's our hunting grounds. There's a lot of deer back there and turkey, and we live from the game, the wild game, and the fish that's in this river. Due to fracking waste being dumped in the river, we've had 8 fish kills in the past 4 years. And the EPA and DEQ always say that they can't pinpoint the cause or where the contamination's coming from. We don't believe that. We know that they know where it's coming from and who's doing it. They're just not willing to prosecute anybody or do anything about it. So this river means a lot to us here, and we got to do whatever we can to protect it. I have seen oil spills in this river. One time, you know, it's been years ago, there was a huge oil spill that happened. The river, it was during the springtime, so the water gets high up here on the bank. You can actually see the water line, you know, up near where the top of the trees are on the edge of the bank. So the water gets that high at times in the spring. And we came down and the river was rushing. It was during the spring rains, but the entire top of the river was covered with oil. And as the river went down and receded, all that oil was left on the banks, and there was dead wildlife, dead waterfowl, beavers, deer, you know, fish, birds. It was just, you know, one of the grossest things that I've ever seen here. Also along these river banks, there's natural springs that come down from the bluffs and run into the river. And when I was young, there's a beautiful spring right up here that we used to always play in and be able to drink the water from and enjoy. My kids and my grandkids will never be able to be in that water. They'll never be able to drink that water again. That water's contaminated now. It looks like a rainbow on the water from the oil, and I don't know. It smells like diesel. Just back up in the trees here, about, you know, 1/8 of a mile.
Should we go see it?
And it's kind of a walk. I don't think we have time this morning.
Oh yeah, we got to get to Aaron Brockovich by noon. But maybe we'll get a chance to come back here another time and show some of that stuff as well. People asked about the weather down here. What's it like this morning?
Nice and chilly this morning. I think it's about 23 degrees right now, so I think Kevin's feeling it.
Yeah, I got my hair cut and my ears are showing. And they mentioned the diamond pipeline, so as we're getting in the truck, we can maybe talk about that as well. Someone was commenting about the diamond pipeline that's going to be coming through here. That is something that's on our radar, and that's definitely something that Mekasi here is going to be involved with highlighting and ensuring that people are not able to put pipelines in without questions being asked and without people's attention being drawn.
So the diamond pipeline is a proposed pipeline from Cushing, Oklahoma, which is the pipeline crossroads of the world, to Memphis, Tennessee. It crosses 214 waterways along its 440-mile route. That's not a real long pipeline, 440 miles, but that is a lot of waterways. That's actually almost the same amount of waterways that the Dakota Access Pipeline is proposed to cross, and it's over 1,000 miles long.
Yeah, it's like 1,172 miles or something like that, the Dakota Access. So that diamond pipeline's crossing a waterway every half mile.
Basically,
wow.
A creek or some type of river or lake. There's just hundreds of them that, you know, that it's going to go across. And so we are organizing. We had been working against the Plains All-American Company on another pipeline here last summer that was running south down to Texas. The diamond pipeline runs east and west from Cushing to Memphis. It threatens the environment. It threatens the water sources for millions of Americans from, you know, the Arkansas River south to the Mississippi and down to the Gulf of Mexico. We're definitely organizing and preparing to take action against the All-American Plains diamond pipeline. So, you know, stay tuned for that. That's really starting to build up some momentum, and we hope to challenge them at every water crossing if possible.
Absolutely, and not to forget our brothers and sisters down at Sable, down in Florida. Sacred Water Camp's having an action on the 14th. They asked me to put some news out about it. I don't have all the information. If someone wants to put that in the feed down here, I know it's the last opportunity they've got to fight the pipeline crossing a particular river down there. So people need to be looking at that and putting some information out on that. I'll try and get some out later on, but it's so hard. There's so many pipelines and I get so much information, it's really hard to remember it all. But one of the things that I would mention is that this pipeline that's going to potentially come through here, the diamond, with a crossing a waterway every half mile, this this is the most pipelines and there's earthquakes here. So when you think about it, why the hell would you put a pipeline somewhere where it's going to be shaken apart underneath waterways by earthquakes? Because that's not if it's going to happen, that's just when it's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. The earthquakes are man-made earthquakes due to the fracking and injection wells here in Oklahoma. Arkansas, and we are collaborating and working with Arkansas Rising, and the Arkansas Water Guardians are fighting the Diamond Pipeline as well. I was just at a meeting with them last Saturday in Fayetteville, Arkansas, so I want to give a shout out to them. And
that's Daryl Long, isn't it? Daryl,
the good work.
Daryl got hold of me from Fayetteville today actually, and asked me to come down and see him.
So Arkansas was having earthquakes and they banned fracking and the earthquake stopped. However, Arkansas ships their waste here to Oklahoma, their wastewater, to be injected into our soil. So Oklahoma takes waste from Texas, Colorado, Arkansas, and Kansas and injects it into the injection wells here in Oklahoma, which cause the earthquakes. Us being the pipeline crossroads, or the pipeline capital of the world, and also being the earthquake capital of the world, we know that it's just a matter of time before there's a destructive earthquake that causes devastation to the environment due to pipeline leaks or well explosions, or whatever's going to happen. We can't predict it, but we can predict that it will happen. We just don't know when or to what extent.
So obviously living right here and the earthquakes that have happened, can you talk a little bit about some of the damage that you've seen from these earthquakes with any of the buildings or the businesses and stuff around here?
The earthquakes that happen in Oklahoma are shallow earthquakes, so they're not happening deep down in the earth core. They happen up closer. The Arbuckle layer that they're injecting the waste into is what's causing it, and that it's not a real deep earthquake, so you really feel it, and you can actually hear the earthquakes when they come. They rumble kind of like thunder, and you hear the earthquake as you feel it. And I've never experienced earthquakes in my life until about the last 5 years due to the fracking, but it's something that we live with on a daily to weekly basis. Most of them are less than 3 point on the Richter scale.